All right, what is up, you guys? Sage here, CEO, founder of Legacy Africa. This is Builder Sunday, episode 4, How to Find Your Customer. Now, who the heck is this guy? Why should I listen to him? I'm Legacy Africa's founder. Legacy Africa was founded last year. Within the first week, with zero capital put in, secured 5K's worth of merchandise and supply chain. Um, this year we're projected to do on the light side. Like if we don't do as well as I'm projecting we will, we'll make about 100,000. And again, this is with zero capital put in, just pure grit, work ethic, working really smart, and building systems and frameworks that I'm giving to you for free in this series. So this is how to find your customer. Number one, you have to be painfully specific about who you're looking for. If you can't describe your customer in one sentence, then you're not going to be able to find them. It's as simple as that. I help X do Y without Z. You know, you need to know exactly who they are, where they are, and what they need from you. What are their pain points? What do they suffer from? And how are you uniquely positioned to help them with that thing? Number two, identify where they already spend time. You don't need to create demand, you tap into already existing demand. This is especially important for first time entrepreneurs. Um, the likelihood that you're going to be able to create demand out of nowhere, the likelihood that you understand marketing well enough to do something like that is very, very low. And so, what you want to do is go into a space where the problem already exists, and a customer is being underserved or not served as well or in the same way that you could, in the way that you approach the problem. And so, identifying where people spend their time, not creating demand, means you're going to leverage platforms, communities, creators, forums, rooms, places where the people you're looking for already exist. Number three, you go where the pain is obvious. So if you see a lot of complaints, it means people are paying attention to the thing. You look for people who talk about the problem that you solve. Wherever you can find spaces where people are actively engaging within the thing and they're struggling with it, it means that they are willing to put effort, energy toward the solution of the problem, and more than likely they'd be willing to pay you to make it go away. Number four, start manual before you go scalable. If you can't get paying customers manually, DMing people, having conversations, systems are not going to save you. Um, the very important thing with this is it helps you improve the product. It helps you improve the product and the deliverability before you even consider going to scale. You realize and see things that you didn't even think were going to be problems before, so that when you are moving on to your next thing, you either have contingencies for those things or you have workarounds for them. But those are things that you wouldn't even know existed if you hadn't attempted to do the thing before. And so starting small helps you improve it, you nail it, and then you scale it. But you have to nail the model first, have to nail the product first, and know that it works and you can deliver. Very, very important to be able to deliver. You only get one shot at a first impression. Um, yeah. Number five, lead with value, not your offer. No one wants your thing. We don't know what it is. We've never heard of it. We don't care about it. Give me. Give me something. And so you earn attention through insight, help, or clarity first. Before you even think about offering someone your thing, first validate who you are and what you can do for them. And if you can do things for them for absolutely nothing, especially if your free stuff is better than the paid stuff that's out there, then you can begin to cut out a segment of the market and have people who are devoted to you, who would run through walls for you because you've provided them with value, whereas other people have just tried to extract from them their entire lives. Crazy how people change the way they move towards you when you make that shift. Number six is the 2.0 version of number four, which is during number four, you wanted to nail it, then scale it. You wanted to do everything manually. Well, here you want to use leverage. You want to borrow distribution. So you go to people who already have your customer. Again, we're talking about those creators, those hubs, those platforms. But now we're talking about it more in the sense that instead of going to individuals one to one in order to get your thing distributed, You're going to go to the key movers. Um, I need you to understand that the difference between this and the last one. And the last one, we're talking about going to those places, you find the people and you go to them one to one. Now we're talking about the act of, instead of compiling an email list of customers, compile an email list of the people who are key influencers in the market that you want to hit. You need to understand that this is a leverage play. The same amount of effort it's going to take to convince one person individually, one by one, to buy your thing is the same amount of effort and time and going through an entire list of 100 people that it's going to take to convince one key person that is going to put you in a room of 100 people, and you're going to be on a stage in a position of authority, and you're going to have the leverage of getting to speak once. You address more people with all that authority and validation, and you borrow some of their value and their trust as well. You get the benefit of all of those things from one yes versus the one yes leading to one sale. And this way, the people approach you. You just get to present your solution, and the people with the problem will identify themselves and move towards you. And those are much better leads to deal with than people that you had to twist, connive, manipulate. Any of those types of things are absolutely useless, because at the end of the day, for me personally, if someone doesn't want to give me their money, I don't want their money. There are certain customers that you need to understand that you don't want as customers. There are certain people that you don't want as customers. All right. And so when you put yourself in those environments, in those rooms, you are going to be able to make much higher leverage plays. And that's that becomes very important, as especially when you have nailed the model. When you have nailed it and it's time to scale it, this is one of the ways how. Number 7, you track what works and double down. You keep what converts, you kill what doesn't. And so this is in terms of when you are reaching out to those customers, when you are creating that copy, you're creating those posts, you're creating those paid ads, you keep what works. And so a great system for this is you have your organic side of things, and then whatever wins in the organic consistently, you convert that into a paid ad. You don't change anything about the copy, the look, you just add a CTA at the end. And then you get the people to connect with you. So don't be emotional about it. Whatever is winning, even if it's the one that you put the least amount of effort to, don't fix it if it's not broken. If it's working really well. You take it as is, you add a CTA, and you continue to roll with that. Number 8, you turn one channel into a repeatable system. Win one channel before touching another, one audience, one message, one loop. And so we're at the point right now where between myself and Legacy Africa, more more specifically with my own personal brand, but I'm attached to this thing, and I'm attaching this thing to, I'm putting my everything behind it, right? I do a couple 100,000 views uh, on YouTube alone, another couple hundred on like all my social medias all together. At the end of this year, we are definitely clearing more than 1 million views. And I don't do that by attracting drama. I don't do that through controversy. I don't do that through anything but creating and providing value at scale, doing tremendous amounts of volume, right? And the only way that I was able to do that in these multiple channels is I was disciplined. I stuck to one channel first. First, I was doing just YouTube, due to the fact that my YouTube shorts and my TikTok shorts weren't too dissimilar at the time. I did those two channels, but it was literally the same thing. I was recording once and I was just posting on two different platforms, right? Which may sound contrary to the idea, but what you need to understand is this. As soon as I understood what was working on YouTube couldn't work on TikTok, and what was working on TikTok wasn't working on YouTube, as soon as I understood that those things weren't necessarily aligned, then I had to focus on one. I had to pick one. And I chose to push really hard, and I was doing 7 times a day on YouTube. On TikTok, I was only posting 5 times a day. On Instagram, 3 times a day. Eventually, I cut off Instagram and I stopped doing it entirely because it wasn't working. Cut it off. And I focused on these two babies. And these two babies were running, running, running. Oh, on this one, I could just post it raw, maybe put a visual hook there, and it ran. On this one, oh, you need the music, you need this, you need that. And slowly but surely, I've been tweaking, integrating. Now I've gotten to a spot where I'm very comfortable with these two channels, and I'm now reintroducing Instagram because I now have my verbal hooks down, I have my visual hooks down, I have some music in certain videos and not in others, and there's still a combination, and I'm still continuously improving and working on it. But do you see how I tried doing it the wrong way first, and I realized why it was done that way, and then I nailed it, and then I knew what changes needed to be made in order to make it work in the next system, what changes need to be made in order, or what elements of this can I apply in this next system. Oh, this one loves for you to post multiple times a day. This one it also does, but to a certain point you need to start producing quality, otherwise it stops rewarding you. Here, pure quality. You need to make sure that what you're doing, what you're giving, is something that's worth people's attention, because here you're competing with absolute animals. Here people will cut you some slack. Over here is kind of a middle ground between the two, but here you need to be producing at a certain level. Your visuals need to be at a certain level. You need to have visual cues, hold people's attention, the music, everything, almost like a TikTok, but not as extreme. I say that to say all that knowledge came from picking one thing, excelling at it, and then starting to branch out into other channels. Um, all that being said, I hope you guys did in fact enjoy. I hope you guys got some value from it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. Entrepreneurs, Legacy Africa is linked down below. Hit me up. Thank you for watching. I have been Sage, standing on business. Signing off.